guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Say do for love, do for love what I would not do. Say do for love, do for love what I would not do. Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do for love. You've tried everything, but you won't give up. And in my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. Sing do for love what you won't do for love. Sing do for love, do for love what I would not do.
What you won't do
for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. And in my world, only you make me do for love.
Make me do for love
what I would not do. What you won't do,
what you won't do
for love.
Do for love.
You tried everything,
but you won't give up.
And in my world, only you make me do for love.
Make me do for love
what I would not do.
Do for love.
Make me do for love what I would not do. Sing do for love. Make me do for love what I would not. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. And in my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do.
Keep going. Round of applause for the beautiful Charmaine for that brilliant opener today, of course. could get away with being a good, American singer. She even got the name for it, Charmaine. It makes a lot of sense, but great opener. And thank you for that, Charmaine, for that wonderful performance again. So, of course, welcome everyone. Good evening to those here today with us and to those watching online. This is another Wealth One Monday service. Round of applause again, people. Yes, of course. And before I introduce myself, I'm going to do something a bit different today. So I haven't told Deborah I'm going to do this, but of course, I want to test. Let me see if any of my brothers or sisters in the building today, if they know me well. So if you know me when I'm on stage, I have a particular way of introducing myself. Only I'm really capable of doing these type of things. But I want to get into it. So I'm going to start my introduction, and I'm going to pick a sister. I'm going to pick a sister of mine. I'm going to see if she's locked in with me. As my brother will know, she's locked in with me. So, of course, my name is Gideon, everyone, and I'm here today with
Jemima, what am I meant to say? Okay, his name's Gideon, a.k.a. Gid So Fly.
Yes, Gid So Fly. Come on, Gid So Fly in the building, yes. As she said it, of course. So my name is Gideon, your host today, a.k.a. Gid So Fly. The litness, the vibes, the swagger, all of that jazz, of course. And I'll be your host today going through what we have planned today for service. So, of course, for those that are new today, and also those new watching online, wondering who we are, what Wealth One is, Wealth One, simply put, is a church led by young, inspiring, and thriving people. And of course, these people are all led by our leaders in the building today. Pastor Bosola, Pastor Larkon, round of applause for our leaders today. And of course, alongside them are inspiring leaders in different industries, different spaces. So the likes of sports professionals, entrepreneurs, professionals, you name it, all catered towards supporting young people. And of course, our aim is to empower these young people, expose them, and help them understand our ethos at Wealth One, which simply put is to understand unity, leadership, and of course, it's in the name, Wealth One, of course. So that's Wealth One in a nutshell. I'm going to briefly touch on some things that we've got that happened during the week, and that's going to be called Wins of the Week. So a few days ago, we had a very engaging social meetup with the likes of, what do you call her? Pej, is it Pej? Pej, Pastor Jemima, Pastor Sultan, and Pastor the Week. They held, hopefully, yep, as you can see on the screen, they held a games night over the weekend where a few young people came, had some fun, drinks, vibes, and besides that, they got to connect and network with these leaders that you see today in the building today. So that's just one of our few social engagements that we have going on. And of course, as well, Wealth One, for those that don't know, are part of a bigger church called the Wealth Family. And during last week, Tuesday, we had the opportunity to have our first Wealth Central review meeting where the likes of Wealth One and other churches similar to us, such as the Campaigners, they emerged. Round of applause for those churches as well, of course, definitely. And these three churches met in the heart of London to go through how we've all progressed in the space of five weeks or so. It's crazy how much we've done in that short amount of time. And of course, we just went over reviewing how successful we've been, and also touching on what we plan to do and the progress of all of these churches as well. So speaking on churches as well, also, Wealth One are part of 6 other churches that are similar to this, all in the heart of London, all doing similar things to this, all different type of communities. And those churches are the Emerge, the Campaigners, Lovers and Inspirers, Connect New Gen, Elite New Gen, and of course, the best of the bunch, no bias, Wealth One, as you see today, of course. Round of applause, people, yes. So, I don't know, are there any A-level students here in the building today? Any A-level students? Okay. I'm not going to disclose my age so that you guys don't think I'm too old, but of course, congratulations to the A-level students that got their grades over the past week. Round of applause, people. Of course, I think when I was in my A-levels, I think it was only letters that I knew that how we got our grades. I think now is it numbers that numbers that they get their grades back. Boy, I'm old, you know. I'm not even gonna get into that. But of course, round of applause again for those students that got their A levels, and of course, well done to them. Congratulations to them too. And touching on what happened last week at our Wealth One service, we had the pleasure of introducing our societies, whereby we pitched our different societies led by, and I'll introduce them as well very briefly, led by those leaders. And with these societies, it's just basically us exposing young people to different industries, different spaces, how they can network and join a platform part of those societies. So what I'll do very briefly is I'll just mention all the societies that we had the pleasure of announcing and introducing last week. And when I do that, I'll also introduce the heads of those societies as well. So I'll start off with the Student Society, which is obviously led by Pastor Jemima and Pastor Esther. So if you could just stand up, please. If you could stand up, please, so that people know who you are. Thank you. Thank you. And then we also have the Corporates and Professionals, which is led by Pastor Deborah and Pastor Sharon, wherever she is in the building. Also, we have the Entrepreneur Society, which is led by Pastor Grace and Pastor Christabel. Of course, the Creative Society, led by Pastor Ayo and Pastor Luik. Yep, of course, and no bias again, guys, no bias again. Last but not least, the Sports Society, led by myself, Gideon, and of course, Pastor Sota, my brother in the building. Of course, let's throw some L's in the building because we're locked in. We have to. No, there's no bias, just have to. L's up in the building, of course, as always. But of course, that's the 5 societies that we have the pleasure of introducing to young people that want to join us and connect with any of these leaders. So, of course, if you want to keep up to date with what Wealth One is up to, follow us on our socials, Wealth One on Instagram and TikTok, and also have the pleasure to join our Wealth One family WhatsApp group chat at the end and connect with one of us as well. So I've been your host, Gideon. Thank you for letting me have the pleasure to take some of your time and enjoy the rest of the service. Stay locked in. Thank you.
And our parents came from the mud. Fake birthdays and birthdays just to make it. This is riches to those that came from the slums, and I mean they say the grass is greener on the other side. The pavement's grey. Some people only accept the lighter shades. Some take away the Allah just to have a whiter name, and some only get injections just to get a blacker frame.
Hey everyone, my name's Esther and I'll be hosting the What Would You Do panel today. Can I get a few, round of applause? Let's get some cheer in the room. Nice. So on my panel today, I have a few special guests, but I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Pastor Ayo, the fashion pastor.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeremiah and I'm model.
Hi everyone, my name is Loic. Hi everyone, my name is Loic and I am the director of Exchange Global Records.
Hi guys, I'm Zita and I'm a journalist.
Lovely. So I'm excited to have these guys on the panel today, and I'll just break the ice with a few quick questions. So with these, a few statements. With these statements, if you agree, I'd like you to raise your hand. If you disagree, I'd like you to keep your hands by your sides. Are we ready? Yeah? Okay. First statement. Being famous is better than being rich. Okay. 2 agrees. Why do you agree, Jeremiah?
I feel like when you're famous, it comes with a lot of things. It comes with loyalty and a lot of people know you, so it comes with connections. You can also network with whatever you got going on. You get me?
I hear that. Zita, tell me.
I feel like you don't really have to have money to make ends meet. I feel like I've seen a lot of examples where people haven't been rich, but they've been able to raise rich people. So I feel like, and that's because they have influence. That's because they have a lot of connections. So I don't really feel like you have to be rich in order for you to be effective. I feel like you have to be very well connected, and that's being famous, no?
Okay, so they have the power to make ends meet, is what you're saying. Yeah. Nice one.
I disagree because I think I would rather have £1 million than 1 million followers. So
100%.
Okay, statement number 2. Parents always give good advice. If you agree, raise your hands. If you disagree, keep your hands by your side.
I want to see some hands in the audience. What do you guys think? Agree, disagree?
Okay. Jeremiah?
I agree, yet again, because obviously my parents, they've raised me, and look who I am today. Obviously, I'm model now. You get me? I'm model now. I'm well prepped. I do good things for myself. You get me? And that's by listening to my parents.
I actually disagree because I think parents always give advice from a place of love, and I think that love kind of kills sometimes because it actually stops you from taking the risk that you need to get to the next level. So that's my personal opinion.
Okay, statement number 3. When people succeed, it's because of hard work. Luck has nothing to do with success. So we have a few hard workers in the room, basically.
I agree because I feel like you have to. I feel like luck does exist, but I think you have to basically strategically put yourself in certain places or do things to kind of activate that luck. So you're not just going to be someone that does nothing. Or say you want to be an actor, you're not going to be someone that sits at home and says, "Oh, I want to be an actor." You might start going to castings. You might start learning. Do you know what I mean? Educating yourself. So I think it's not all down to luck. I think hard work does play a massive part.
Sorry, I just want to kind of add on. I agree with working towards that bit of luck that you may have, but not hard work, because you can see a lot of people, for example, in Africa or people in construction that they work hard, but like, do they actually have the
Why
results?
in Africa in construction?
No, sorry, but they work very hard, but do they actually have the results that all their labor kind of should equate to? Do you get what I mean? That's kind of where I would...
Me personally, when you work hard, results are always due to come. So I know now you're talking about Africa. Maybe they're all hard working now, and then in a few years to come, or even maybe that 15 years.
You know what? I hear Jeremiah because one of our, the best mentor in the house, he says something like, the results will always be the results.
Exactly.
So whatever you put in, you will surely see the end of it.
I don't agree because I've seen the most ridiculous people get famous and get money. So I don't agree at all.
That's by hard work. Them doing ridiculous and dumb things is getting the money.
It's effortless. I think you don't have to work hard to be an idiot, Like...
Okay, I've got one more for you guys. It's okay to lie. If you agree, raise your hands. If you disagree, keep your hands by your sides. Loic, let's hear from you.
Sorry, it depends, because a lie, obviously we know lying is not good, but there's some circumstances where lying actually protects. It does more good than harm. telling the truth can actually cause a lot of damage and chaos, and we've actually seen it firsthand. Yeah, we've actually seen it firsthand.
Where did you see it?
No, we've seen it before. Don't worry, we've seen it before. So yeah, from experiences, I think sometimes it's good to kind of,
I don't agree. I feel like it's more damage being done. Just know if you ever lie to me, I'll never speak to you again. Never. So you're dead to me, yes. So I would say, don't lie. I feel like people assume that people can't handle the truth the same way they assume people can handle the truth. You know? So, yeah.
No problem. Okay, so now into the real meat of things, the scenarios. So, scenario number 1. You've just turned 18 and you find yourself constantly getting frustrated with your parents due to a lack of freedom at home. You feel like the rules in her household don't apply to you anymore and you're actually struggling to come to a middle ground. What are your next steps?
I would love to be 18 again, even though I look it, right?
You do.
Yeah,
You do.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you. I think I would say I feel like this is me 7 years ago. 7 years ago. I can relate to this a lot. I think it got to a point where I kind of was at the age where I thought, where I knew what I wanted for myself, and I knew that my parents, though they meant well, it just wasn't in line with what I wanted. So I think for me, I've always been very bold. So I was kind of like, Mom, I hear your reservations or your concerns, but I think it's my life now. I'm going to take it by the reins and kind of do what I want. So I think, I'm not saying this is what you should do because maybe you can't deal with the repercussions, but I could. So I feel like best thing is for me or to do would be to just stick with what you think works and try it out. At the end of the day, you're 18. You're meant to make mistakes and try out things. So I would say kind of stay the course and be fixed in what you think is right.
Okay. Zita?
I think, yeah, sit down with your parents and have the conversation, and then if they don't agree with what you're saying, what you communicated, so now when you go and do what you're gonna do, they can't cry about it. Like, it is what it is. But that was probably me when I was 18. I was trying to express myself, trying to say, hi Mom, I'm old enough to go out. Mom's very protective, so yeah, I had to rebel a lot of times for her to kind of get it. So yeah.
I hear you. I feel like of course, 18 is the young adulting age. You're trying to get through to your parents, or those older within the same family as you. They don't seem to hear you as much, but again, you kind of have to almost take the risk with some things and learn as well. Even though their advice is good and important, again, you're not trying to have the same path as them. So I guess you have to trial and error, but also don't disobey where you don't need to. Okay, scenario number 2. You're a talented and very known athlete within the team you play for, yet you find yourself constantly Thoughts? Jemima?
I think on that or in general?
On that.
I think one-man teams never really work. So I think what you need to do is probably work on yourself and your anger and learn to tolerate so that you can work with the team to make the match work. Because at the end of the day, it's about winning, isn't it? So if you want to go on a one-man team, good luck. But I would say work on your self-development and then everything else should be fine.
Lovely answer. Okay, number 3. You've just graduated from college and instead of feeling elated, you're overwhelmed with the uncertainty of what comes next. The pressure to find a job, or figure out your career path, or decide if you actually want to pursue further education is intense, who would you turn to for help and why?
I'll go first. One thing about me, I hate making big decisions by myself. I'm gonna go to my leader and say, leader, PO, what should I do? So I think that's kind of where I take, or what I take as my safety net. So I'm always gonna say, like, so at least this is my mindset anyways, if it goes wrong, I can say, well, you told me to do that, so it's not my fault. So I think that's what I would actually advise everyone to do, identify who your leader is and use them as a person and as a tool to kind of help guide you.
100%. I would agree with Ayo as well in that respect. I think definitely getting counsel from the people around you that esteem to have some sort of wisdom, and I would definitely advise you not to rush into anything either. You don't necessarily have to follow any kind of societal norms when it comes to career paths or what to do next. I think the most important thing about your teens or even your early 20s is about finding yourself and kind of trying out different things to find out where you kind of want to go. So I wouldn't recommend rushing into anything, but definitely get some sort of advice or experience from people that are in industries that you're trying to get into yourself, or anyone that you see as like a mentor or a leader within your community, so you can get the best guidance and support. That's what I would say.
Lovely. I think even personally for myself, when I just finished sixth form, I was telling my leader, I don't know what I want to study, I don't know what I want to do next, but it was as simple as you just haven't applied your mind to think on it. So it can be a small that you can literally just give yourself a few weeks within the summer holidays, think about what it is you actually want to go into next, whether that's a course, whether that's apprenticeship, university, just actually give yourself the time to think, and nothing is a rush, like Loic said. Okay, so my last scenario for you guys are doing great with your responses, by the way. Okay, so you scroll through social media daily and constantly see new videos on people traveling, getting new promotions, or seem to be in perfect relationships. It leaves you feeling like you're not doing enough. However, you're looking at yourself and you've deliberately chosen a certain path, a certain discipline in order to build yourself or build the business that you're a part of. How difficult is it then to continue on this path, though social media tends to create the perfect picture?
You know, it is. Comparison will always be your biggest enemy. So me personally, I would just stay on my own lane and just focus on what I'm doing. Do you get what I mean? Especially if it's bettering myself and developing me as a person as well. I would just stay on my own lane and focus on what I'm doing.
Nice answer. Zita?
I'm gonna be devil's advocate here and say, I feel like people always shy away from competition, and if you're seeing other people do better. So yeah, it's affecting you, but what are you going to do next? Are you going to cry about it, or are you going to go out and do something? So I would say don't shy away from competition. Don't shy away from seeing those things, because you should push to do more. You should push to be better. So that's what I would say.
Okay. Anyone in the audience? No? No problem. Thank you guys to my lovely panelists for sharing your advice with us today. Let's give them a round of applause. And I hope to see you guys again and I hope that you guys get to see my face again actually on this panel. So yeah, that's it from me.
After this, I'll be inviting all the men to please go on a 10 minutes walk with us.
From the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. The system broken, the school's closed, the prison's open. We ain't got nothing to lose, everybody we rollin'. Everybody we rollin', with some light-skinned girls and some B-rollers. And this white man world, we the ones chosen. So good night, crew, in the morning. I see you in the morning. This is way too much, I need a moment. No
Hi, just walking through London today with my sons and friends. Praise, no show of force. I'm pity. Love you guys.
Let's try that again. Good evening, Wealth One. Perfect. Good evening, Wealth One. Of course, for those that don't know me, my name's Pastor Alarcon. And I've been thinking, I think the toughest duty I've had today is deciding what I'll be calling my segment. So I was thinking, let's chat with Pastor Alarcon, of course, because we have Let's Talk with Pastor Bisola. But I was thinking, let me call it Alarcon's Corner, because it's a small little segment of the service. So welcome, guys, to Alarcon's Corner. Can I get a round of applause? Don't worry, I will get fancy branding, etc., etc. But let me do what's actually customary. Of course, we have one of the most influential women in the world, and I say that with no bias. But we have Pastor Shadia, family of the Connect family, please. Of course, good evening to the leader of Wealth One, of course, Pastor Bisola. Another one of the most influential women. Good evening to those that are watching online. Of course, good evening to our assistant senior pastor, Pastor Obi, our senior pastor, Pastor Sam, and of course, our global head of strategy and assistant head of strategy, Pastor Lucy and Pastor Toby Adeboyega. Now, what do I briefly want to talk to you guys about today? I'm going to give you guys a scenario, seeing as we're on the topic of scenarios, right? Who actually got to choose where the... Oh, it's lovely seeing you, Tommy. Who actually got to choose where they're from? So if I asked you, Charmaine, where are you from? North London, right? Perfect. Did you get to choose where you were from? Perfect. Are you happy with where you're from? Absolutely not. Okay, cool. If I was to ask people in the crowd, where are you from? Did you guys get to choose where you're from? Did you really get to choose what school you went to? Did you get to choose your friends? Did you get your siblings? Your answer probably is no. That's the honest truth. Now, we were brought up in a world whereby we didn't actually get to choose anything. I'm sure if all of us had the choice, we'll probably choose to be in a rich family. I know Ayo definitely would. Most of us definitely would. Want to live in a rich family. Maybe not Jeremiah. I feel like Jeremiah loves the rags to riches story. Maybe he likes the working and grinding hard story. So maybe not all of us. But most of us would like to be born into a rich and noble family. But the truth is we didn't. So the honest truth is greatness actually isn't within our blood. Our natural nature, our natural state, we can go to our mom, to our dad's house, and we can wake up and look at our surroundings and realize that we're not actually inspired by anything. There's not much to inspire us. I'll use myself as a case study, so I play it safe. Unlike Jeremiah, my parents don't necessarily inspire me. I think they're good people. I think they've tried. I think the best thing they've done was to birth myself. But I don't think they're necessarily great people. I can look at the lineage of my family and it's repetitive. It's the same. So what do I mean by that? As in, the world has given them a sort of propaganda, it's almost marketed to them what seems like is right. And what do I mean by that? As in, they're born, they go through the education system, right? Get good grades, that's what you're told to do. Of course, I got good grades, so I fell in line with that, but that's how I would have entered into mediocrity, right? Cool. Get good grades. You're told to go to university, right? Charmaine, you're going to go to university? Yeah, sure. You're then told to get a good job at 9 to 5. Right, Murphy? Okay, you're told to get a good 9 to 5 job. You're then told to buy a house, get a mortgage. And then guess what you're then told to do to put the full stop at the end of your life? Have kids to do the exact same thing over and over again. That's the zenith of our lives. That's the zenith of who we are. And in that cycle and in that sequence, not once can you say you've sniffed some form of greatness out of it, right? Not once can you say that, okay, that's inspiring. But do you know that that's the life that most people live? You can wake up, for those that may work, you can wake up and as you're commuting, you can just see how many people are hustling and bustling every day just to make sure. And I always describe it as a huge cog in a big machine. Now, the Wealth One, what the title of today is called Special Call, right? Now, we're on a special call now. When Pastor Bisola comes up to do Let's Talk with Pastor Bisola, she's going to be speaking to you guys today. And it's almost going to be a call that the truth is really special people can really answer. It's going to be a call for you to enter greatness, to enter a life that stays away from the mediocrity of this world. Now, I always say it, the world has and I think it's Pastor Toby that I actually got inspired by that made this point first. The world has a huge budget. The world wants you to be mediocre because it helps it to spin round and round and round. I always say that each and every single one of us that are born into the world, we're just a cog in a huge machine. Now, this machine is called the world. And it's basically campaigning, it's fighting for your life to fit into that machine, just to be a part of that cog that wheels and spins to make sure that the world keeps running. And then once your kind of cogs, once you kind of die off, what does it then do? It gets your children to do the exact same. Do you understand, Charmaine? It gets your children to do the exact same. But what on a campaign is the Wealth One to call people that know that they're special within them? When Pastor Bisola starts preaching, she's going to make a call. She's going to speak to you guys to invite you to a path that's different to what the 99% join. She's actually going to call you into a path of greatness. Now, why I'm always thankful about the Nation family. So as you guys may or may not know, this isn't just the only platform that's running today. We have 5 other services that's happening across London. And simply, we're on a campaign to invite people into that journey of greatness. Why I always say that I love the Nation family, because it's actually an invitation for you to be great, Charmaine. Freddie, no matter how small or how young you are, it's actually inviting you to be great. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying to you? It's actually an invitation for each and every single one of us to be great. But the truth is, not many can actually answer this call. But as I said, there's 5 other services that are running across the heart of London, all trying to campaign to find people, to find unidentified leaders to join this path called greatness, because the world do not want you to be a part of it. Now, we're part of the Wealth One. That's one of 3 churches part of the Wealth family on such a campaign, which is even part of a bigger conglomerate called D Family, which is just trying to identify leaders. Now, I'm first the living proof. I can say that I can give you perspective. So I went to a grammar school. So even, see, the world that you guys had and the world that I had ain't even the same. But I can even tell you the world that I had wasn't even great itself. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying to you? So I can say that the world that I had tried to make me the best at education, right? They tried to make me go to a great university, tried to make me get a great job. But I can even say the best of the world didn't even want to make me great. It just wanted me to almost be the forefront to be mediocre, if that makes sense. But I can journey on the path of when I got invited into Birmingham Revival, I can gladly say that this is a platform. These are people that are concerned for me to be great. It's not normal to be able to raise 6-7 figures. It's not normal for people to follow you or have influence over people. This isn't something that the world ever teaches you. But this is something that the word has been able to nurture us in. And that's actually the point I want to hone in on today. I'm going to tell you what scripture to get into. But why I love the Nation family, and I'll say this again, it's a home, it's a hub that nurtures you. The word nurtures you to becoming great. None of us know what greatness is. A Jemima coming from North London, you don't know what greatness is. It's not in your blood. Your nature wasn't to be. And that's just me being honest with you. Sorry if it feels like I'm downplaying your thing, but that's just the honest truth. I'll use myself. Coming from Southeast London, there's nothing in my blood. There's no one in my family that stands out. You know what I was saying the other day, actually, before I even carry on? Before you take me to Proverbs 13, let's go there. But you know what I was deep in, yeah? The other day. I was like, I don't even know my great-grand. So meaning that the end of me probably dies within 2-3 generations if I stay on the line of what the world gives to me or what the world offers me. So meaning that if, okay, let me not use Sean, let me use myself. So meaning that if I grow old and I have grandkids, the truth is my great-grandkids may not actually ever know me. So I leave the world without even my family lineage knowing who I am. And we've all heard the phrase of, okay, the grave has the most potential, right? But that's because it's true. The world, I'm telling you guys, and I can't even stress this enough, the world doesn't actually want to see your greatness, Murphy. It doesn't care about you. It cares about you fitting into a system that helps it keep running. This is why we have things like society. So we have 5 societies, and I'm sure they're going to keep growing as we keep gathering more people. But this is why we have societies, because we're saying that we are leaders within certain fields, within certain industries, and nurture what's actually in them, or nurture what could potentially be in them. As I told you, we're all unidentified leaders. But when Pastor Basolo comes to preach, when Pastor Basolo comes to speak to each and every single one of us, are we willing to explore? Are we willing to journey on and embark on a journey to be great? Are we willing to mix, to dance with, I always use the word dance with the words that are being shared by our Pastor Basolo, with the words that are being shared by a Pastor Obi, a Pastor Sam, a Pastor Toby, which will actually help you on your journey to being great. But take me to my first scripture. Yeah.
Keep company with the wise, and you will become wise.
Perfect. Very, very simple point. It says, keep company with the wise and you will become wise. Pastor Toby used this scripture on Sunday. So if you guys aren't aware, Pastor Toby usually preaches on a Thursday and a Sunday. But he used the scripture on a Sunday. He said, being wise actually ends up meaning that you'll become wealthy. Almost in a sense, yeah? It says, keep company with the wise. Read that scripture again.
Keep company with the wise, and you will become wise.
And then what does it say afterwards as well? What does it say afterwards?
If you make friends with stupid people, you will be ruined.
Now, let's change the word wise and let's change the word stupid people. But let's use the word greatness for wise, right? So try and substitute with the word greatness. Go on.
Keep company with greatness, and you will become great.
Perfect. Keep company with greatness. As in, we're able to see our Pastor Toby come into this country in 2005, and some of us don't know the famous story, but came into the country with one shirt and one jeans, right? And you can see and hate him or love him, but you can see the influence, the impact that he has on the world currently. I always say you can see how much he's got England by the scruff of its neck. That's the honest truth. But this was someone that chose a journey. This was someone that decided to pick up a tool that will make him great, which was the word. He allowed the word to nurture him to become great. Then we can look at the likes of a Pastor Sam. We can look at the likes of a Pastor Obi. We can look at the likes of a Pastor Shadia. And they decided to embark on that journey too. And as much as they could have been from Stockwell, they could have been in Peckham, when their nature wouldn't have made them great, they decided to journey and pick up the tool that will help them to become great. That nurture was able to help them to become great. Now we can see that they are influential people. We can see the amount of people that followed them. We can see the amount of finances they're able to raise. But the only way they were able to do that was from a nurturing called the word. So if we're saying to ourselves, if you're saying to yourself, brother, if I'm saying to you, do you want to be great? I'm saying to you, join the company of people who are on the journey to becoming great. We're growing up in a world whereby the company that we're around actually leads to mediocrity. We love using that word, but I'll keep on using it. We're in the company of people who at the end of the day, there's not going to be much that's going to come out of it. But I'm asking each and every single one of us, let's embark on a journey. Let's all embark on a journey. As we listen to Pastor Basolo, let's be willing, let's be daring enough to embark on a journey to be in a part of a company of people that will be great. Take me to Luke 14. And I'll begin to round up.
Luke 14 verse 26,
Yeah.
NIV. If anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple.
Pause there. It says, if anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters. See, I'm not even looking at it as father and mother, brothers, wife and children, brothers and sisters. I'm just looking at symbols of things that were given to you. Symbols of things that you didn't actually get to choose. As in, we didn't get to choose our father and mother. We didn't get to choose our wife and children. To be fair, you could choose your wife, but we didn't get to choose our brothers and sisters. But that's the same with us in terms of now. If I'm to relate it to you guys in terms of real life, you didn't get to choose what ends you grew up in. Esther Clark didn't get to choose what school she went to. And Elijah didn't get to choose the parents. And Kion didn't get to choose the parents that raised him. So if you want to embark, it says, such a person cannot be my disciple, as in such a person cannot be in the company of greats. Because we can all vouch that Jesus was great, right? It's over 2,000 years later, we're still not saying his name. Are there not many people on Old Kent Road celebrating his name? So we can still vouch that this guy is great, right? So If you want to be amongst the company of greats, if you want to be great yourself, you have to be willing to kill off, to get rid of anything that you was almost forced into. You must tell yourself that you want to embark on something. You have to do something completely different to what you've ever known before. It says, if anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, as in does not put aside. I think read it in the Amplified Version.
If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, yes, and even his own life, in the sense of indifference or to relative disregard for them.
Exactly. It says in relative disregard. If you're not willing to disregard what was forced upon you, whether it was your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's the ends that you grew up, because we didn't get to choose these things. If you're not willing to do these things, if you're not ready to put aside that to answer the call to be great, you never will be great. If you're going to keep telling yourself or be sentimental to yourself that you need to be a part of your family, you only carry on the lineage that they've always raised to you, and by the 2-3 generations, no one will ever remember you again. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying to you? So take me to my last scripture about Abraham. This was someone who heard the call to be great, as some of us will hear the call to embark on this journey of greatness by Pastor Basola, by our Pastor Toby, by our PTJ or Pastor Sam. Go on.
Genesis 12 verse 1 NIV. The Lord said to Abram, go from your country, your people and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing.
Say that for me one more time. It's possible to get on the screen, please.
The Lord had said to Abram,
go on.
Go from your country, your people and your father's household.
So leave the ends, leave what you've ever known, etc. Go on.
To the land I will show you.
Yeah, so you're being asked to embark on a journey. When a Pastor Basola speaks to you guys, you're actually being called to pick up the phone. I like this picture a lot. It's a very fancy phone. But you're being asked to pick up a call to embark on a journey of greatness. Go on.
I will make you into a great nation.
It says, and I will make you into. If you, my brother, are able to accept the call that's going to be given to you, because that's why I love the Nation family, it gives you a call to be great. It invites you into greatness. It invites you into the company of greatness. If you're willing to accept that call, if you're daring enough to leave the nature that you've always been given, it says, I will make you into a great nation. I'll make a great name out of you. Go on.
And I will bless you.
Perfect.
I will make your name great.
Yeah.
And you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you. And whoever curses you, I will curse. Yeah. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you.
Perfect. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. Look at the influence that comes with accepting the call of greatness. Now, I'm going to round up here, but all I'm simply saying to you is, hear my plea. Because I was once in your position before. I was someone who was on the line of what the world had faced. I didn't get to choose what I saw. I didn't get to choose what I was around. The truth is, it was nature that brought all these things. It almost shoved it in my throat. It gave it to me. But I was actually invited. I was lucky enough to have... so I think there was a question about luck and hard work. You see me? I'm very, very lucky. That's the honest truth. Because Birmingham wasn't even the uni I was meant to go to. I was meant to go to Warwick. But I accept... My laziness made me accept my unconditional offer, and I ended up at Birmingham. But I was lucky enough to be given the invitation to be great by a Pastor Basola at that time, to a Pastor Toby at that time, to a Pastor Obi at that time, and they invited me into greatness. And I've been willing to accept that call, and ever since then, since 2019, I've been around the company of greats, to the point that I can say that I'm on a journey now to be great. I've seen my leaders be able to raise a lot of finances. I've seen my leaders able to raise people, and I can say I'm even along that journey myself. So the truth is, my path won't end within 2 or 3 generations. No, we are going to be people where thousands of years later, they're going to be talking about the Nation family. Hundreds of years later, they're going to be talking about Pastor Basola and what she's done in whatever industry she's in, leading thousands and millions of women. In 100 years' time, they may be talking about Pastor Tony and whatever she's doing. They could be talking about Pastor Charmaine, Jeremiah. All these people, they're going to be talking about these people in the many, many years to come. Not just within the 2, 3 generations that we have. Why? Because they were willing to accept the call of greatness. So I'll end it there. Thank you. My name is Pastor Larkon. Thank you.